Trigger: betrayed by a best friend. I used to believe that the bonds of friendship were unbreakable. Growing up, I had it all: a loving family, a job that I was passionate about, and most importantly, my best friend Jake, who I thought would always have my back. We were inseparable, sharing dreams, struggles, and the burdens of adulthood. The plan was simple. We would start a business together, a venture that combined our talents and visions. I poured my heart and soul into that company, working late nights and sacrificing weekends, fueled by the dream of success and the belief that our friendship was the ultimate anchor. We celebrated victories together, shared our fears, and navigated the stormy waters of life side by side. But trust is a fragile thing, and I had no idea how quickly it could crumble. The inciting incident came like a bolt from the blue. One morning, I walked into the office, my heart full of hope for what we could achieve. Instead, I found Jake sitting across from a stranger, a slick businessman with a flashy suit and a devilish grin. My heart sank as I realized they were discussing my ideas that I had shared with Jake in the deepest moments of camaraderie, while I stood there, frozen in disbelief. When he introduced me to this man as his new partner, the betrayal cut like a jagged knife. I felt the air leave my lungs as I confronted him, my voice breaking, asking him why he would do this to me. His dismissive smile and empty apologies shattered what had always been a strong bond. I was left standing there, feeling like a ghost of my former self, my trust obliterated. As the days turned into weeks, I spiraled into a deep emotional pit. I had poured everything into that business, believing we were building a future together. The pain of deception was overwhelming, crushing my spirit and leaving me questioning my worth. I felt betrayed not just by Jake, but by every moment we had shared. The laughter echoed in my mind, turning to taunts as I replayed the moments leading up to the betrayal. I found myself wandering aimlessly, drowning in a sea of betrayal and loss. For a time, I became a shell of the man I once was, hiding from friends, avoiding places that reminded me of the past. I was angry at Jake, at myself, and the world for allowing such treachery to exist. But slowly, through the fog of despair, I began to see a flicker of resolve. I realized I could not allow my story to end here, that I needed to rise from the ashes of my shattered trough. I started researching, reading every book on business strategy, negotiation, and psychology that I could get my hands on. I immersed myself in the world of successful entrepreneurs, dissecting their strategies and learning from their mistakes. Each page turned was a step towards reclaiming my power. I began to rebuild my network, attending seminars and connecting with like-minded individuals who shared my vision. I was careful, though. I had to be strategic, keeping my true intentions close to the vest. The scent of potential wafted through the air as I shared my ideas with new acquaintances, gauging their reactions, building alliances without revealing my ultimate goal. I was determined to rise again, to transform the pain of betrayal into a weapon of justice. I envisioned taking the stage at a business conference, standing tall and proud, exposing the truth about Jake and the deceit that had stolen my dream. The vision fueled my every action, and I worked tirelessly towards that moment. As the climax approached, my heart raced with anticipation. I had secured a spot at a major entrepreneurial summit, where I was set to present my innovative ideas to a room full of investors and industry leaders. Jake was scheduled to speak right before me, showcasing the very business we had built together, his new venture. The atmosphere was electric, and I could feel the tension in the air as I took my place backstage, waiting for the moment to strike. I could hear him speaking, his voice smooth and confident, as he presented a polished facade of success. But beneath that smooth exterior lay the truth, a truth I was ready to expose. As I took the stage, the spotlight illuminated my face, and I locked eyes with Jake in the front row. The audience fell silent, and I took a deep breath. I spoke with passion, outlining my journey, the sacrifices I had made, and the deep betrayal I had endured. I could feel the audience's energy shift as I shared how my best friend had sabotaged our partnership and stolen the very ideas we had built together. The gasps of shock were palpable, and I saw Jake's confident demeanor waver as the truth unraveled. As I presented the evidence, the emails, the contracts, the lies, I felt a surge of power coursing through me. I was no longer the victim. I was the one holding the reins. The emotional payoff was intoxicating as I watched Jake squirm, his carefully crafted persona crumbling under the weight of the evidence. The once flashily dressed businessman had become a cornered animal, desperately trying to salvage his reputation as the truth spilled out. I could feel the weight of the audience's disbelief, their sympathy shifting away from him and towards me, towards the man who had been wronged. The final blow came when I revealed the powerful investor who had backed my new venture, a name that turned heads and shared the collective mood in the room. The tide had turned, and justice was finally being served. In the aftermath, I found a renewed sense of purpose. I channeled the pain of betrayal into something greater, a foundation aimed at helping individuals who have faced similar betrayals, created to empower them to reclaim their lives and dreams. I began to mentor young entrepreneurs, sharing my story as a cautionary tale. I wrote a book, pouring my heart into every page, hoping to inspire others to rise from their challenges and find strength in their struggles. Instead of allowing bitterness to consume me, I transformed my pain into a beacon of hope for others. I learned that resilience is born from adversity, that justice, when served cold, can be the catalyst for profound change. If this story moved you, like, share and subscribe to this channel.